Hi everybody, this is Erica. This is Fernando's granddaughter. How are you? We are, it is it is Wednesday, May 18th. Let me check the calendar. It is Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. Sorry about that. So I've been getting, I'm sorry I haven't been around in a while. But the topic of today is cinnamon, true cinnamon versus Chinese cinnamon. So a lot of you have been asking questions about that. I thought I had posted a video here about it already, but doesn't seem like it. So I thought I'd take a little time today to show you the difference between the two. So if you go to Age Less, Live More, and you go to the chapter called Offerings for the Temple, there is from page, let me see now, there's from page 115, 116, 117, and let me see now, 118, 119. So Grandpa Fernando devoted a lot of pages to cinnamon because this is something that he used on the daily. He always put it in his oatmeal, and he also made himself a cinnamon tea out of it. So if you go to the other book, Beyond 100, I give a little very simple how to make this cinnamon tea. But let's get into it. So you should be able to distinguish between true cinnamon, which is from Sri Lanka, Ceylon, and also Chinese cinnamon. Okay, so this is true cinnamon. It's a little bit lighter in color, and it also curls around itself like a telescope, telescopically. See that? And this is commonly mistaken for true cinnamon. This is what we call Chinese cinnamon, and you see that it's more like a scroll. See, it folds in from both ends, and also it's a darker reddish color. See that there? So if you're going to make a cinnamon tea, or if you're going to use cinnamon for anything, this is the one you want to use. This is the one that Fernando recommended. This is the one he used. This cinnamon, my understanding, is fine. It's fine for your liver. You know, nothing's going to happen. This one, however, the Chinese cinnamon, has something in it that I guess over time can do a little damage to your liver. Okay? So that being said, of course, don't forget to just keep up on the daily, keeping your liver clean by drinking, purified water, and also perhaps you use Dr. Richard Schultz's liver gallbladder detox formula, or doing a liver cleanse, 3 or 4 times a year. As we remember, we live in a very polluted environment. But at any rate, all that said, this is what you want, the true cinnamon. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So what Grandpa would do was that he would take a bundle of these sticks, right? Let's say like a fistful of these, and he would put them in a pot of water, cover the sticks with the water, bring it to a boil, and then turn it down, to a simmer. And I wouldn't really simmer it, more than 15 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes should be fine. I also recommend that you keep it partially covered because the water evaporates very rapidly, and then you're going to be you're going to lose a lot of the tea that you're trying to make. And then after that, he would cool it to room temperature, and then he would transfer it into bottles. Like you could put it in a big glass bottle, for example. But you want it to be cool. Glass is preferred. Plastic has a lot of toxins in it. And then he would just drink this, as need be. It was there in the refrigerator, cooled for him to drink as he wanted. So I'm going to read to you from his book, Age Less, Live More, Achieving Health and Vitality at 107 Years and Beyond. Cinnamon, the gold standard of spices. As you read through these pages, you may be struck by the fact that many of the foods on my Super 10 list are not just healthy, but ancient in the extreme. One could say Grandpa was ancient. The many peoples of the earth have had thousands of years to experiment and observe, and the wisdom gained over these countless generations still applies today. With that, I'd like to recommend another item that has passed the test of time, the common spice, cinnamon. Cinnamon is native to Ceylon, now Sri Lanka, and goes back at least 4,000 years. The Egyptians used the spice to help preserve and mummify the dead, and valued it more than gold. It was highly prized throughout the Roman Empire, as well as China, where it is mentioned in writings from 2800 BC because of its pleasant smell and the fact that the phenols contained within hinder the growth of bacteria. Cinnamon found widespread use in meat preservatives. Over the centuries, the spice was used not just for flavoring and aroma, but as an effective treatment for sore throats and coughs, as well as helping with digestive disorders. Even today, cinnamon is still commonly used to treat these maladies. Other ancient medical uses included relief from arthritis, menstrual cramps, and yeast infections. It was valued for both its antibacterial and antifungal properties, as well as a general stimulant. For those familiar with the Old Testament, you may recall that cinnamon was a prime ingredient and the special anointing oil used to anoint and sanctify the priests of the Jewish tabernacle in the days of Moses. Throughout history, the demand and relative scarcity of this aromatic spice has spurred trade and exploration. In the 15th century, cinnamon was one of the main motivations for sending our ships of exploration around the Horn of Africa and eventually to the New World. Wars have been fought over control of what was then Ceylon, so as to have a monopoly on the profitable cinnamon trade. It wasn't until 1796 that the production of the spice spread to other areas, including Java, Sumatra, and Borneo, and more recently to South America and the West Indies. Quite a journey for the lowly common cinnamon stick. Recommendations. Then he gives his recommendations. Many people might not be aware that there are two products that are typically labeled as cinnamon. The first, known as true cinnamon, is the original variety grown in Ceylon, Sri Lanka. The other, called Chinese cinnamon, is from the cassia plant. Although they are somewhat similar in taste and aroma, I believe that true cinnamon is of higher value when discussing its potential health benefits. It is somewhat harder to locate, at least in the United States, and the cost is higher. Although, of course, now we can do all the shopping online and stuff. When my grandfather wrote this book, that was not the case. Let me see if I can brighten this up a little bit. There we go. Okay. How to recognize the difference? Cinnamon sticks are curled around themselves telescopically. Okay, so here we go. Cinnamon sticks are curled around themselves telescopically. That's true cinnamon. While cassia curls inwards from both sides like a scroll. True ground cinnamon is tan, finely ground, and has a warm and sweet flavor. Cassia is coarser, darker red, and has a somewhat bitter, stronger taste. There is also a cinnamon oil available. Do not eat this oil. It is toxic, even in small quantities. It is usually used for its scent and in making Christmas ornaments. Okay, benefits. First and foremost, one of the most beneficial qualities of cinnamon is its ability to modify blood sugar and insulin levels. A recent study followed a number of older men and women with type 2 diabetes. After 6 weeks of using 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon per day, true cinnamon, the group experienced a marked decrease in blood glucose levels, as well as a major drop in blood cholesterol and triglycerides. Cinnamon also provides a good source of chromium, which aids insulin activity. The spice also helps with digestion and indigestion, diarrhea, and morning sickness by helping to break up intestinal gas. Even the smell of cinnamon is beneficial. It's been shown to increase alertness, memory, and cognitive function, and even seems to act as a male aphrodisiac. Lastly, cinnamon is a potent antiseptic, antibacterial, and antifungal agent. And it has proven an effective treatment against certain medication-resistant yeast infections and destroys E. coli and salmonella when used as a food preservative. It is also a great source of fiber, manganese, iron, and calcium. And then he gets into uses. And he says, my favorite use for cinnamon is as a tea. I add a stick to a cup of near boiling water and let that steep for a time, 10 minutes or so. A little honey can be added for sweetness if desired. One can continue to add hot water to the same cup and drink it during the day. I also sprinkle cinnamon over my oatmeal in the morning. It is a tasty and healthy addition to many foods. Use it often as you can. So I hope that cleared up some questions for you. I also want to say that I am and we are in no way advising you, if you are on insulin with your doctor, to stop doing that. However, you might want to add a little true cinnamon, as he suggested, to your daily routine, either by sprinkling it on your cereal or making a tea out of it, as he recommended, as he did himself. I like to use cinnamon, for example, when I'm making a soup. I will put cinnamon into the soup as it's cooking, because not only does it provide a really nice flavor to it, along with the other spices that I'm using, it does also provides a warmth, and even in Ayurveda, it's considered to be a warm spice, and warm spices are considered to be good for your digestion. So that's another way you can use it as well. All right, I'm wishing you all well, and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye now.